Alrighty, traders, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to another show here with the FX Big Dog as we look at the non-farm payrolls coming out this morning. And that is not the only data that is going to be reported today. We're also going to be seeing some data being reported on the jobs in Canadian as well. We're looking at employment change, expecting some drop in employment change for the Canadians. And the unemployment rate, that is going to be ticking down to 6.9% from the original 7.1%. So we're going to see some Canadian data, but also we're going to go ahead and look at the non-farm payroll data, which is reporting a lot higher jobs this month at 490K. That is what is projected. And we've got the unemployment rate that should tick down lower to 5.1%. from 5.2%. So a lot of data coming out this morning for both the CAD and, some data coming out for both the CAD and the US. We definitely want to go ahead and take a look, see what the markets are going to do this morning. With that being said, I want to go ahead and welcome everyone to the trading session today. Denise, good morning to you. And looking forward to some good opportunities. And I'm just going to go ahead and type here, good morning, traders. All right, there we go. So just a quick couple of quick reminders for those that have joined the session for the first time. If you have not subscribed to my channel, FX Big Dog, go ahead and search it. Go ahead and type up in Google FX Big Dog. Find my YouTube channel, all my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Join me as we go ahead and take a look and address the market. Also, very importantly, make sure that you sign up or at least subscribe to the channel so that anytime I do broadcast, you do get updates as we go along the way. And so with that being said, good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started this morning as we break down the chart. We definitely want to go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in the dollar index itself. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on here as we address trading opportunities. All right. Now, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, both FX Big Dog as well as the Join the Traders Club. Traders Club is tradersclub.com. Actually, in fact, just go to the YouTube channel, Traders Network Club. Did I say Traders Club? Traders Network Club. That is the YouTube channel right there. So, okay. So let's go take a look and see what's going on in the market. All right, as we go ahead and address the details, here's the dollar index on the 4-hour time frame. And you can see that we already got a down AB swing, and we are now expecting price to fall because we had an irregular flat. Look at this. Actually, in fact, I need to extend this because as I look over here, let me go down to the 1-hour time frame. Take a look and see what the 1 hour's got down. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, I got 5 here. So, yeah, this is an irregular flat. Price did take out that trend line right here and come back to retest the backside. So this is also looking pretty solid right here. As price comes back to the 618 pounds, we should see the dollar index falling back down here, and then short retracement and then further dip to the downside. So absolutely are expecting price to fall down here to the 1.68. Then we'll have a little bit of pullback, and then a little fall again as we get down to the 1.68 down here. So these are the inside wave structures that's building up a nice story to indicate bearish sell-off on this particular setup right here. So good. So dollar index, we're expecting a fall. I think the one thing that's going to um, create some volatility in the market is the fact that we are looking at two sets of data, right? Let's go back here. We're looking at, go ahead and refresh this page. We're looking at the employment rate, unemployment rate. That's for the Canadian. Here it is. Yeah. So we're looking at the unemployment rate here for the U.S. That's expected to drop by 0.1%, and we're looking at the employment change, and that's to rise at 490. Now, based on what we've seen before in the past, it is no surprise to us that we're going to see some upside movement in the upside movement with the with jobs, right? Jobs is definitely going to see. We're definitely going to see some upside movement in jobs. Now, with jobs increasing, it's natural for us to see the unemployment rate to improve, which is what we're currently seeing right now in the dock. But the problem here is the unemployment. The average hourly earnings. The average hourly earnings is the biggest problem right here because people are coming back to work, but people aren't being paid what they should be paid, which means that slows down the economy. Believe it or not, it does, because the house assets don't become cheaper, right? Property is not going to get cheaper. Property is actually on the rise. So if people aren't getting paid what they're worth, then it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be GDP spending, because they're not getting what they are qualified to, so they're not going to have additional cash to go ahead and spend outside what their normally traditional expenses are. So without additional spending, that's not helping with GDP, nor is it going to help with the housing market, which means that we're still going to be stuck in a place where we are going to be concerned about GDP spending and, of course, debt that we currently have here in the US, because the only way to pay debt is to have growth in GDP. If we don't have growth in GDP, we can't pay debt. So it's a vicious circle. The problem here is, and this is the issue that we're running into right here, is that when we look at inflation, currently right now, inflation is on the rise. But if jobs do come back, but don't come back at the rate that we should be paying, then we are going to start seeing a slowdown in the growth of the economy. And if we start seeing slowdown, then inflation is not going to become a problem. And so Feds may start thinking about raising rates, but at the same time, if we don't see spending increase, inflation will start decreasing. Then inflation is not going to be a problem for the Feds anymore. And so will rates still be rose? And if so, where are they going to raise to? And is it going to be a case of rise cut type of scenario? Well, we're only going to see it right now when the jobs come out. So there's a lot of details around the jobs that does create some sort of indication of what the Feds are going to do. We'll have to see what the jobs are going to do. Now, we're about 4 minutes away before we go ahead and jump in to the details of the chart. We're going to take a look at all the charts across the board, and we're going to take a quick look right here as we go ahead and address some of the details. All right. So let's go into dollar index, but understand that dollar index is set up right here for price to go down. So we are expecting price action to move down on dollar index. But let's go to some dollar crosses. Here is and I'm going to flip this over to a 4-hour and take a look here on the 4-hour. On the 4-hour, we've got good solid support right here. And we did see a wave 1, 2, 3 right here. So we are expecting price action to push back up again. I'm going to go do a 1-hour. I do see a swing here. Okay, I see a swing down here. I don't believe we ever got to that low. No, we did not. So do we see a swing forming right here that price hasn't got to the 1.618. So which means that if we do come back, if we start moving back into the AB boundary, then we're probably going to be looking for the market to do something like this, where this is the AB boundary. Here is the second wave, and if we stall here and we see price moving back up north, then what we're going to see here is we are going to see price chasing after this level right here. All right, if price chases after that level, then we are going to see this as an irregular flat. So once price takes out that, we may be heading south. Now, if I look at this from a largest perspective, we did hit the 1.618 right here, so we are expecting some pullback based on the large swing to retest this level right here. Now, some might think that we're already there. Might think that this was the test, this was the pullback, and now we're actually heading to the fifth wave. And I'm going to put that in just as an alternative right here. Here's the top, here's the bottom right here. And I'm putting this as an alternative because if price does continue to fall, then I need to be cautious about this level right here. Okay. But in the meantime, we should see a bullish move towards this high right here. Okay. So we've just come, all right, there we go. There's that spike right here. We've just gone ahead and tested that level. We've got, okay, 30 minutes out. We've got the news out right here. We've seen a little bit of a bearish move in the dollar. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the data reported. And still waiting for it to come up right here. Let's go back to the chart. So we've got to push to the 1.618 right here on the inside swing. Let's see if we get a little bit of stalling here. There it is there. So there's the 1.6. So it's gone through. So if price does want to pull back, still, this is still at target. Oh, no. Now that we hit the 1.618, this does not become a target. Now, price now will go up to this level as it goes ahead and retest. So we'll probably go ahead and test up this high right here. So it's pushing down a little lower right here. Pushing down a lot lower. So dollar is getting weaker. Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Isn't that what we expected? Yeah, we're expecting dollar weakness, right? Now, the reason why I'm looking at this chart right here is because we're not only dealing with the dollar, but we're dealing with the Canadian data as well. Come on, refresh. Go ahead and do a quick refresh here. So we did expect a weaker dollar. And the number's still not coming out right here. So we did get a weaker dollar. Let me go to our chart right here. And we were looking at a setup yesterday. And this was the setup that we were monitoring here. We had a trade on the New Zealand CAD. That's gone a little bit bearish. Seen a little bit of a bearish move in US dollar. There we go, US dollar CAD. And then Aussie CAD, we're in on Aussie CAD 2 here as well. Okay, so it looks like we got some positive news out of the Canadians. Let's take a look at the Canadian data right here. All right, there it is. Good. All right, so Canadian data reported at 157K. Wow, look at that. They were expecting on this, they were expecting 59,000 jobs to be reported. It came out at 157. That is huge. And look at the, all right, the unemployment rate, that stayed the same at 6.9%. So no change to that, but it is lower from the previous. Okay? So big jobbers so big numbers coming out for the Canadians, big positive data coming out for the Canadians. We'll see how the market reacts to that. Now, average earnings. Wow, just what we were looking for. Average earnings got positive on us, so that's good. That's a great sign right there. All right. Then another thing here is the non-farm payroll. They were expecting 419. It came out of 194. That's a huge difference from what they were expecting. I mean, 490K, we got to 190, 194. That's huge. That's not good at all. And then the unemployment rate, well, that dropped, which is pretty strange. That dropped to 4.8%. And I'm surprised about a drop in the unemployment rate, knowing that we only increased jobs at 194. So that's the numbers right here. Let's go back to the charts. So a little bit of a spike right here. Again, price, this is a new AB boundary from here down to here now. So if price is going to pull back, it's probably going to target this high right here. So pullback should go ahead and take us up a little higher up over here. Let me take a look at something here. I've got to take a look at my charts. Okay. All right. So right now it's a question of, do we rally or is the market? Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame right here. Sorry. All right, here's the 15. I'll pull up the 15 so we can see a little bit of price action move right here in the shorter term, because a lot of times we have these little spikes and then the market pulls back, goes back to the original, and then it starts moving in the opposite direction. So we'll see that very quickly here on the 15 as well. I'm not going to go down to the 5. By the way, make sure you got your cup of coffee ready to go. And happy Friday to everyone, by the way. All right, Jill says, what I expected, dollar weakness. Yep. Absolutely. If you go back to the dollar index chart right here, that's exactly what we were expecting based on this chart right here. I'll be honest with you, what is a surprise to me is the Canadian strength that we're seeing right here. Let's go to New Zealand CAD and Aussie CAD, specifically Aussie CAD. Look at Aussie CAD right here. Oh, I like this. I like that. I like that. Let me go to a larger time frame. Look at this. We got a good solid level of support right here, right? We got a little fake out down below right here, but price came back inside. So this is actually going to, I'm expecting dollar index continue its rally up here to the top right here. All right, or at least Aussie dollar. So this little spike right here is perfect for the support that I'm seeing right here. We should stay there and go back up north now, which is pretty strange, because if you've seen a strong number coming out in the jobs report for the Canadians, you'd wonder why the market would spike down and spike back up again, because it's shown, okay, strong Canadian, but then the market pulls back up again. And I think it's all related to what we're seeing here in U.S. oil. We're expecting U.S. oil to fall, all right? And so there could be there's still a stigma that's sticking around that's saying that, you know what, despite all the good news out in Canadian with jobs, we're still not seeing a good bullish setup here on U.S. oil, and U.S. oil is expected to fall back down south. So we've seen some double tops right here. If that holds and we take out that confirmation point, we should be heading back down south as well on this. Let's go ahead and pull up some trend lines here. So at least for the market to come back and retest this trend line on U.S. oil. Let's go to the 4 hour. Take a look what it looks like in the 4 hour. Here it is in the 4 hour. And yeah, we were seriously looking at price staying below this level right here, right? And so price has moved up all the way to our 1.27 right here, fifth wave right here. So if you look at the wave structure, we're expecting U.S. oil to drop back down to this level right here, and that's at 73 and change. And then once it gets to this point right here, we might move into a bearish cycle or bearish trend as it continues to work its way back down, further down south to about $56 and then $53 a barrel. So U.S. oil fighting right here. Let's go back to a couple of the pairs. I'm going to go to New Zealand CAD right here. Because New Zealand CAD as well, look at that. Okay, good. Well, this is good. This is good news right here. All right. Well, at least for me. All right, because I expected New Zealand CAD to go bullish. So we've got a nice little bearish move to the downside right here. We're starting to see a pullback. Again, I want to see price take out this high right here at about 88 and change. So 86, call it 87. I'm still expecting about another 100 and looks like about 100 and 100 and probably 104, 105 pips going long right here. So this is good. I'm excited about this. Let's go take a look at those trades we put in yesterday. So these are the trades that we put in yesterday. And we started to see some movement. There's a little spike on the... Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice little spike here. Price is going to move back up again. What I'm surprised about, real surprised about, how come we didn't get another entry here? Oh, price got into... Oh, okay. So we never got that spike, never picked us on another entry. That's okay. All right, let's take a look over here. So US dollar is getting weak. So we're in on 3 positions on that so far. It looks like that's going to continue to move bearish. We definitely are going to see a bearish dollar. There's no doubt. But the nice thing about the bearish dollar right here, there's that Aussie cat, by the way. So we're looking good on Aussie cat too. Look at a nice little spike here. Now a rally. I like this. So I'll be honest with you. I expected some weaker CAD, but I didn't expect the data report out here to come and say, "Hey, we're all solid." I mean, look at the data. The data is pretty solid right here. The only downside on the data was jobs. Sorry, not jobs, but unemployment rate for the Canadians came out as expected at 6.9%. But on the flip side, it is better than the previous number at 7.1%. So I'm still surprised that we're starting to see some weakness out in the Canadians. And I think it could be maybe some oil influence on that because the data seems pretty solid. Pretty solid. I mean, 157K to the 57. Now that's what you call underperform but undercommit but overperform. All right, and that is pretty solid right here. So the numbers came out pretty good. So let's take a look and see what else is going on right here. Jared says, "What is oil?" Oil is trading at the moment right now. U.S. oil is trading at $79 a barrel at the moment right now. We just looked at the oil chart, and there it is there. And so we're looking for oil to hold up here at the top and push back down south right here. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. All right, let's go take a look at... I'm going to take a look at Swiss. Now, this is a surprise right here. Now, this is a big surprise right here. We started to see some Canadian weakness, but yet I'm not seeing any bearish move in the Swiss Canadian Swiss. Does that mean that we're starting to see a little bit of strength, weakness coming out in the Swiss as well? That could be a possibility. This could be a possibility that we're getting weakness out of Swiss right here. And that would mean, do we see a weakness out of JPY? That could also be. Let's go to CAD JPY right here. Yeah. You see this? This is actually telling me that that JPY is actually weaker than the Canadian right now, and that's why we're getting not a very strong push, but we are getting a push to the upside on the Canadians. So the Canadians will push slightly bullish. It'll push slightly bullish, and that's why we're moving bullish because the stronger weakness out in JPY and Swiss franc, and that may also be the fact also because we're getting JPY weakness, Swiss weakness, US weakness, all of these safe haven currency pairs are starting to weaken. Now, this could also mean now that we're going to start getting a good move in the stock market. Stock market should start pushing up this morning. Should have a good a Friday close if we're going to continue to see a dollar weakness, and that's going to be something that we're going to have to take a look at as well. All right. Let's see, based on our positions we had yesterday. So, yeah, a little choppy. So, this data coming out has been a little choppy this morning. Had a little spike to the downside, spike to the upside. So, looking at the data, looking at how choppy it's been, specifically for the Canadians, all right, then my thought process right here would be today's all about the dollar, right? The dollar weakness that we're seeing right now is the only price mover, despite the fact that we had some good data coming out for the Canadians. Today's definitely a dollar day. There's no doubt about that. Dollar day today, and it is solidly bearish. Yep, and we should still see dollar continue to fall. Let's go back to U.S. dollar Canadian. Now, the reason why I've gone back to the U.S. dollar CAD right here is that I want to look at a couple of things here, and the one thing that I want to look at is let me see here. Is this wave structure? I'm going to mark off this high right here down to this low, and I'm going to look down here. All right, so price still could fall all the way down here on dollar index right here. Let me see here. Did we get a bit of divergence out of this? Oh, there was a little bit of divergence here. Let's kill that. And so as I dig into the details here, see what we've got here. Wave one. Yeah, and it looks like we did not hit that low. We did not get down to that 1.61 right here. So which means that maybe this inside swing, that's the target right about there. Well, I'm going to keep this fib right here coming down from year to year. I'm going to just keep it in here. Because check this out. We're at the 1.27 right here. And so what do we expect the 1.27? We're expecting price to go back up. So it's going to be interesting to see if we actually do see price hold here. If I do see some indecision right here, then I'm going to expect price to go ahead and push back up. I'm seeing the oscillator in the oversold condition. So this is going to be real interesting right here, my friends, because if we do go back up again, then we should be chasing after that high up here at the top. So let's wait and see. Now with Canadian weakness, you would think that the dollar would rally, but obviously the dollar's showing a lot more weakness than we are in the Canadian. This is why we're pushing here. But if there's going to be a change, and I only think it's going to be I don't believe this is going to be a dollar strength from the news. I think this is more the dollar strength from a technical perspective. Technically set up, dollar should start rallying from this level right here. So it's going to be interesting to see. So I think that we've seen this little spike to the downside on the dollar, but I don't believe, looking at the technicals right now, that this is going to stay there for too long. We might start seeing some indecision as we head into the weekend. We should be halfway back up. We could even cover back up most of the losses by the end of the day. Come Sunday and Monday next week, it's going to be real interesting to see what the dollar does, and specifically as I monitor the US dollar CAD, because I think that we're going to see more weakness coming out of the Canadian due to oil price also dropping right there. And because the Feds have got this conversation about possibly raising rates, I think we're going to start seeing price being discounted way before the Feds make a decision on the rate decision come, I think is it next week? Do we have let's take a look here. When do we have, I think we're in November, right? When's the rate decision? FOMC, here it is right here. This is the meeting minutes. Let's see here. Okay, so it doesn't look like it is next week. Go ahead and with that filter, there it is. I believe it is. Let's take a look here. I think it might be the first week in November, actually. Oh, so we got a long ways to go. I mean, we got let's see, here's November. All right, there it is. There it actually is November 3rd. So November 3rd, we've got the rate decision coming out here with the Feds right here. Nothing's been projected at the moment right now, but we'll see how that plays out. So we've got a full month before we actually get any Fed data coming out on the rates. So, okay, perfect. All right, so that pretty much wraps up what we got here for the day. This is what we have here on the calendar right here. See that pullback already? Pullback already. I got to take a look at the. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Yeah, spike. Come on, we need a nice little close bullish here on the New Zealand CAD. That'll confirm, because that's what I'm banking on. I've been banking on weakness out in Canadian and weakness out in dollar. Now I did get it, but now we hit our support levels. Now I believe that I think we might be done with that weakness in dollar, and now we should start seeing some strength in the dollar based on a technical perspective. But from a technical perspective, we're expecting actually the Aussie CAD to actually be bullish based on a technical move. So everything right now, despite all these spikes that we've seen this morning, we're still seeing a good solid move on we definitely seen good solid tests of our technical levels of support and resistance, which is pretty cool, pretty solid. So we'll keep an eye on our trades. I'll update you on these trades that we have right here. Remember, yesterday we took on 3 trades. I thought we were going to get these trades paid out before the end of today. Clearly, it didn't happen. But we've got Euro trade in. We have a buy in the Euro. That was from yesterday. We have a buy in on the New Zealand Canadian, which from yesterday. We now got 2 positions in on that. And then we had a US dollar CAD, also a buy. And now we're in 3 positions on that, also looking to cash out with a net positive 3 pips. Now, a net positive 20 pips, sorry. Now, let's take a look over here. As we go into this, as we close off the session right here, let me look at another opportunity that traders can go ahead and grab right now. Because we've seen that spike in the Aussie CAD, let me go to the Aussie CAD right here. Oh no, we're in on the Aussie CAD. That's no doubt. Okay, Swiss. Let's take a look at CAD Swiss. Okay, CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss looks like an opportunity for us this morning. So for those that want to grab 20 pips out of the CAD Swiss, I'm going to go ahead and take on a sell right here. Also expecting weakness out in the Canadian. Now the reason why I'm going to take a short on the CAD Swiss is because also we've been noticing that we've seen some weakness out in the Swiss, US dollar, and JPY. But I believe that weakness has been completed, and we should start seeing some strength, even if it's short-term strength, in both Swiss, JPY, and US dollar. And therefore, selling Canadian Swiss might seem a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and sell it right here. enter in. We're in at 74.13, and we're looking just for a 20 pip net profit. 20 pip net profit, that's it. So we're in on this. Let's take a look and see how this plays out. I will update you inside my Telegram account. If you haven't subscribed to the Telegram account, go ahead and check out the description below inside this video, and you'll see that there is a link that you can actually subscribe. It's free, completely free, but you do get updates to trades that I go ahead and set up. All the information is going to be inside the Telegram account. So I'll update you as we go along the way. Traders, have a fantastic morning. Okay. Have a perfectly good morning. Have a fantastic weekend. And we'll see everyone in the next session. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, my friends.